What are the four McAlevy's like when they're together?
Madness. The four McAlevy's just, when the four McAlevy's are together, it's just a riot. It's normally like World War VI, and I remember probably one of the first times, probably Christmas or something like that, thinking I'd walked into Afghanistan or something, and I'd just be quiet and sit in chair, eat my dinner, and not sit out to listen to all the banter. But very entertaining, very, very entertaining. Some good stories. A little bit daunting.
So we just don't get on, that's it.
No. No. Probably for the first hour.
Can you tell us the funniest...
Do you want me to lie? Yes, they all hug and kiss on meeting each other and never get on each other's nerves. Go on.
Can you tell us your funniest story of Rita and Tony?
Oof, that's a tough one. Probably the funniest one I can remember that easily has come to mind is when we was in Malta, and Rita and both Rita's and Rachel were shopping for the wedding dress, I think, and I think me and Rachel had gone to Malta with Rita and Tony in the apartment, and I think Charlo had lent us his car that Tony was driving, and I think we were in Valletta, and it was a 3-door car, and me and Rachel were in the back, and Rachel got out. Oh sorry, no, Rita was getting out, that was it. Me and Rachel were in the back. Tony was on a busy main road in the middle of Valletta, and Rita had one foot out the car with the door up, saying something to Rachel, and Tony's trying to drive off. Rita was hopping along with one leg in car and one leg on main road and going mad at Tony. What are you doing, you stupid? That was funny. But there's been loads, it's very hard to remember, but that's one what comes to mind quickly.
Can you tell us about the story of when you asked Rita and Tony if you could marry Rachel?
Yes. Tony, very unusually, had asked me to go around the house and do some work, do some electrics, and I think I was doing a couple of sockets, putting some new sockets in the kitchen or something like that. So he'd asked me, and I'd already had it planned in my mind because I knew they were both together, that I was going to ask for their blessing to propose to Rachel. And I remember going in, I was very, very nervous, and it's very uncharacteristic of me, but I was shaking. I couldn't hardly use my tools, and I was taking forever if I do these sockets. There was only about 4, but it took me about an hour. If I do 4, it took me 2 minutes to do each one. And I was like taking my time and umming and ahhing. I remember Rita and Tony telling me afterwards I was a bit pale and looking very nervous. And I finished the sockets in the kitchen. I asked them both to sit down on the couch in the kitchen, and I think they were a bit worried. They were looking at me with a bit of fear and a bit of anger, I think, because they didn't know what I was going to say. I think they thought it was going to be something bad, and I said, I'm glad I've got you both together, because I want to ask for your permission to ask Rachel to marry me. And they both lapped up, and they were hugging and kissing me, and they were absolutely made up, and it was lovely. But I think they were quite relieved as well as happy. So yeah, that was when I asked.
Can you tell us any stories or any memories you've got of yours and Rachel's wedding day at any point where you were with Rita and Tony?
Oof. I remember dancing with Rita on our wedding day. It was all a bit of a blur, really. I had nothing I can really pick out, to be honest with you, individually. But I remember Tony being very emotional. Straight after the wedding, I didn't see him bringing Rachel down the aisle because I didn't look back as he was walking Rachel down the aisle. But I remember afterwards, and probably for most of the day, he was a bit nervous probably about doing his speech, but very emotional because it was such a big day for Rita and Tony, as well as for us and for my mum and dad as well. Yeah, I can't really, but I can remember dancing with Rita and introducing me to a lot of the family who I probably didn't quite remember from the engagement and stuff, but I can't remember much else. It's a blur.
Any advice they've given to you or taught you?
Yeah, Tony gave me some very good advice on our wedding day, actually. It was part of his speech as father of the bride. And never go to bed on an argument. Stay up and have a good fight and sort it out. Never let things lie and fester, which is very good advice. And if you don't agree with your wife, just say, yes dear. I think he meant let her have her own way, but no, that was the best advice he'd give.
Any advice or anything Rita has taught to you?
There's probably thousands of bits and pieces of stuff, but nothing that comes off the top of my head, to be honest with you. Probably with the kids and stuff like that. I can't think of anything specific, but there must be thousands of things that your mums give us advice.